We're getting breaking news into the newsroom. Here's the latest.
Amtrak train 91 was traveling between New York and Miami. Around 2:35 this morning, it collided with a CSX freight train outside of Columbia, South Carolina. Amtrak says on board were 8 crew members and approximately 139 passengers. We know that 2 people have died. We are hearing reports of 70 people being transported to hospitals now. 5,000 gallons of fuel spilled. That's not being viewed as a danger. The remaining passengers are now off the train. They've been taken to a nearby middle school where the Red Cross is setting up a shelter. Now, the injuries range from minor scratches, bumps and bruises to broken bones. We don't have any information about any critical or serious injuries. The initial briefing, they just didn't have that information. And that's not terribly uncommon. You're sort of going to a triage situation where you get the people that are most critically injured to a hospital as quickly as possible and assess them there. And then the so-called walking wounded, you can patch them up and get them to that middle school where the rest of the people on board the train are staging. The NTSB is launching a GO team. This is the second National Transportation Safety Board GO team currently working on an Amtrak crash. The other team is still in Charlottesville looking into that Amtrak train, which was carrying Republican lawmakers, that collided with a trash truck and killed 1 person, injured 6 others. This is the latest, Train 91, the latest in a series of deadly accidents involving Amtrak. In fact, the National Transportation Board has raised some questions about the safety culture at Amtrak following a fatal accident in Pennsylvania more than a year ago. But if you think back to December, when that Amtrak train in Seattle went off the tracks, when it rounded a curve going far too fast, and you now have the situation in Charlottesville in this one. The question here, why did the train collide with another train? Now, this is a circumstance that had positive train control been on those tracks, and if it was active and working properly, this accident should not have happened, because that's the type of accident positive train control is designed to prevent. And that's technology that's been mandated by Congress, but its installation has been delayed. The deadline isn't until the end of this year, but it really is game-changing technology that could prevent a lot of accidents, and possibly this one. So the NTSB will be looking into a host of things. Distraction. They're going to look at what was going on inside the engineer cab. Were the signals on the tracks working? Were the trains working properly? Why did these 2 trains end up on the same track? Why did they collide? Why didn't they know the other train was there? Amtrak trains now have at least outward-facing cameras and often inward-facing cameras. That video and the data recorder on board those trains will play a big factor in this, as well as interviews with the crew members of both trains. But at this point, we are hearing a very significant number of injuries, at least 70 people transported to the hospital, 2 people dead at this point in this Amtrak train 91 crash. The train was traveling between New York and Miami when it collided with a CSX freight train and derailed